Welcome back to the Gunners Club.
Well, didn't I promise you something American? I promised you something loud, something racy, something in your face. Now, it's not NASCAR. It's not a tray of hot dogs or hamburgers or something like that.
It's not the hot chick from next door, is it?
Well, it's something American, so no, it's not.
Ah.
So what I've got for you is some simple, easy sipping or swilling American beers to try. Now, is it true? Is it true, were Monty Python correct when they said that American beer was like making love in a canoe?
So close to water.
So, all right. Now, as an Australian, I probably wouldn't know this, that Coors and Millers now actually are the same brand. Different brand, but the same owners.
Okay.
But I thought, let's try something American. Let's try something a little bit different to our palates. So we'll
Hang on, you've only got two here.
We'll start with two. What do you mean to say?
The quintessential American beer. Have you forgot? What's the story?
I think we might actually have that covered. Do you think there's something missing?
Bud? Where's the Bud Light?
Let's see what we think of these two first.
Okay.
So this is a Coors, and you actually have a connection with Colorado, don't you?
Hi, Nicole. Love you.
So this is it promises to be as cold as the mountains themselves. So I'm expecting something very fresh, something that's not too challenging, something I could have in summer. I sort of get a bit distressed when I look at the websites for American beers and they say it's good to serve with a hamburger. It's not really haute cuisine, but let's give it a go. Crack the top. Ah, there you go. Twist top.
Look at that. Yeah, I don't mind the bottle.
Yeah.
They're definitely not an Aussie stubby. The shape is totally different. Shall I?
Please.
Do you want me to be mother?
I would love you to play mother for me. It's been a long time coming. No, that's enough. Whoa. I don't think I'll be able to get through all that.
Yes, you can.
Now have a look.
It's an American beer.
Have a look how pale that is already. Now there is absolutely no head whatsoever at all. There's no density to it. There's a bead, but the bead is not persistent. If you have a look, that's almost completely gone already. Well, let's see how easily it goes down, shall we? I mean, what of it?
I would hazard to say this, but this is like the Johnny Walker from previous videos. There's nothing there. It's wet.
It's wet. We can say it's wet, and it is cold. True to the label, it's cold because I put it in the fridge. Pretty label. I like the way that they've perforated it. I like the way they've featured the mountains and they've put a reference into a particular geographic area. But I don't really get much out of this at all. Now, I've bought soft drinks, which are a lot more in your face than this.
Yeah.
And that were a lot more challenging.
No, this can't be true.
Now, could you possibly make a shandy or a radler out of this? I mean, if you mix this with a Sprite or something, would it be stronger or weaker?
What's the alcohol content on this?
Have a look.
If I could read it. I haven't got the glasses. What is it?
No, you've put me on the spot too. It's 4.2%. So it's very similar to one that we tried recently, that Bob Hawke one.
Yes.
The same alcoholic volume.
That actually had some body and some flavour and some strength to it.
So you see, with beers,
Wow.
beers don't necessarily have to be done with just barleyed malt. So when you have barley, essentially to malt it, what you do is you agitate it to grow. You give it a little bit of heat, just a little bit of water to tease it. It starts to sprout, and what it does is it processes the sugars. So as humans, we can actually digest it, but we can also get the sweetness out of it as well. But a lot of other cultures, they like to add other grains to their beer. So it's less challenging on the palate. Asians love to do that. And you can put other sorts of things into it. You can put corn, you can put rice, you can put whatever grains really you want into it. For me,
There's nothing to this.
I've never come across anything similar to this at all. In fact, I'm sort
Thank
of
God for
regretting
that, he says.
that you poured me as much as what you did.
Well, that's all right. I'm sure the plants will like it.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah. Well, we got plenty of citrus trees that will appreciate it, if you know what I mean.
I've never come across anything like that in my life. I don't know if it's designed to get people who've never had alcohol into alcohol for the first time. Maybe they're having the first college summer or something like that, and someone says, why don't you try this? In Australia, it would generally be those high sugared up vodka and lemon or vodka and passion fruit or something like that.
And yeah.
And that obviously is what this is. Oh, is it possible that people drink that as a mainstay beer?
Not it. No. Well, I can't see, as an Aussie,
Yeah.
I can't see a tradie drinking this.
I don't see
But-
myself
but
finishing the glass. That
I
was
don't know
poured
if
for
you
me.
guys know what I'm saying, a tradie. That means a tradesman, someone that actually works for a living
Yeah.
as opposed to pushing a pen. I
Gen-
cannot
generally-
see.
Generally, to become a tradie in Australia, you need to do an apprenticeship under someone and be very good at showing a bit of butt crack. And then you pretty much, and usually have a pickup truck or something like that.
Right,
A
or
dog,
at
a dog
least
named
one.
Spot, and away you go.
No, in our case, it's Bluey.
Bluey. But I wouldn't see a tradie or really anybody in Australia drinking that beer. I'm sorry, that's what you have to contend with. But maybe not all hope is lost, because I've also bought a Miller's Genuine Draft. Yeah,
I don't see much difference.
I don't either.
I'm sorry. I don't want to prejudge.
I mean, it couldn't be worse, could it?
Oh, but this is what it's up against.
Okay, I'm glad it's a small pour. So again, insipid colour. This again is a similar alcoholic volume, I guess. It's 4.7%, so it's coming
Whoa!
up close to against the Australian beers.
Wow, as opposed to the 4.2.
4.2.
And it's from the same company.
Essentially the same company now owns both. That's
Okay.
right.
Okay. That's got a different
Yeah, but
smell.
not really pleasant though, is it? Damp hay or something I'm getting.
Really? I can't drink that.
I'm really sorry. Sometimes I play around if I've got a bad beer, or in Australia, sometimes your beer can actually become heat spoiled.
Oh, of course.
You buy yourself a carton of it, and maybe a 6-pack goes straight into the fridge, and the rest of it you don't quite have room because there's leftover chicken or roast or something like that, and it stays outside, and the garage becomes an awful lot hotter than the insulated house.
Yeah.
So I had this happen recently, and I discovered a good way of rescuing sour, heat-spoiled beer is to add Sprite or lemonade to it, and it becomes quite palatable. Now, I don't think CPR or mouth-to-mouth resuscitation could do anything for this at all. In fact, if this is the best that you've got, I think you're in for an awful lot of trouble. But did you mention a third beer?
Well, I'm thinking of the classic thing that you see on TV in the pictures, you know, Americana
Yes.
movies. Everyone throws out a Bud Light in front of you,
Okay.
and all the commercials.
Not
and shit
not to
like that.
name check, because I've actually got a third beer poured here, and I would consider this classic Americana. So let's have a go at this and see how this shapes up
This is really terrible.
against your palate.
It
It's
really is.
undrinkable, absolutely undrinkable. So I'm
I
very
can't
interested,
believe that.
I'm very interested in your thoughts on this third beer, third classic American beer.
Oh, that's different. Hang on. This isn't a Duff beer, is it? That's classic Americana. If Homer likes it, it's got to be good.
That is seriously good. That is seriously good. Now, if you're American and you're thinking that we're parodying your beer, well and good we are, because that is...
Crap.
Yeah, you could wash your dishes or have a bath with it. This is something very, very good.
That's got a completely different taste profile.
Now, can I ask, when you were a young boy, did you grow up reading the good book? Okay,
Yeah, it was
as an
called
adult-
Playboy.
Well, I've got something. Now that you've actually started to grow up even more, this is the good book. This is 1001 beers to try before you buy. Now, if you actually try this very beer that we're having right now, you can check that off and it actually will be 1000 beers left to try before you buy. Now, let me tell you what it says. Now, for copyright, I'm only going to read the first sentence. Take the corner of this page and dog-ear it. This is one of the most important beers in this book. And so I have actually dog-eared it.
So what beer is it?
Okay, I'm going to show you. This is the beer that kick-started the craft beer movement in America. Started off, I think, in 1979. A chap was a home brewer. The two guys actually working together, and they decided this is something that they seriously want to do. And they had scraps of equipment that they managed to salvage together, some dairy equipment. If you're American, you should stand up and salute this. Sierra Nevada. That is a beer.
Wow. I've never heard of that. I have never heard of that. A draft style pale ale. Okay. You guys should know more about this than we do. I have never heard of that.
That is a magic piece of work. That is poetry in a glass. That is musical libations.
So is this a common commercial beer on every supermarket type shelf now?
You could find it pretty much every major store in Australia.
No, I'm talking
well-known.
in America. Being an American beer, is this widely available in America, or
I'll
is
tell
this
you what,
still
why-
a craft beer?
Why don't you ask your audience to let you know?
Why don't you let me know? There you go. This is excellent.
Yeah, just because it's American, it doesn't mean it has to be good or bad. But in this case, it's oh so very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm curious whether that's a commercially available beer in all your liquor stores, or is that just, it's a craft beer and yeah, you'll get it if you're lucky somewhere.
Yeah, let us know. We're keen to know.
That's not a bad beer. I might have some more of that.
Bless you.
Well, I mean, I don't want to let it go to waste.
Cheers to that.
Oh, yeah. For medicinal purposes only, you understand.
I think that's a video just there. You haven't seen?
Don't forget, guys, if you like what you see, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Let us know underneath what you think. We're happy to make more. And even if we don't make them, we'll continue drinking them. See ya.
See you.